Hello, welcome to this channel. This is chapter 7, Life in the Deserts of class 7th NCERT book. And this is geography. Okay, so let's begin. In chapter 5, you have seen that water means life to plants, animals, and people. It is difficult for anyone to live in places where there is no water to drink, where there is no grass for their cattle to feed on, and where there is no water to help the crops to grow. It means water is very important you know for everyone. Everything that is surviving on this earth, water is necessary for everyone. People need water to drink. People, animal, everyone need water to drink. We will now learn about the places in the world where people have learned to cope with extreme harsh temperatures. Now we are going to see, where how do people live in extreme temperatures. In some places as hot as fire, and some as cold as ice. So there are some places on earth which is too hot, and there are some which are too cold. There are desert areas of the world. These are the desert areas of the world. These are characterized by low rainfall, scanty vegetation, and extreme temperatures. Depending on the temperatures, there can be hot deserts or cold deserts. The people inhabit these lands wherever little water is available to practice agriculture. So people need water to survive, because if they have water, they can do cultivation, they can practice agriculture, and a lot many more things. So desert is an arid region characterized by extremely high and low temperatures and has scarce vegetation, less vegetation. Scarce means less. The hot desert, Sahara. Look at the map of the world and the continent of Africa. Locate the Sahara desert covering a large part of North Africa. It is the world's largest desert. Sahara Desert is the world's largest desert. It has an area of around 8.54 million square kilometers. What is the area? Area is 8.54 million kilometers. The Saharan Desert covers an area of around 8.54 million square kilometers. Do you recall that India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometer? The Sahara Desert touches 11 countries. Okay, these are Algeria, Chad, Egypt, Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Niger, Sudan, Tunisia, and Western Sahara. When you think of a desert in the picture, that immediately comes to your mind is that of sand. But besides the vast stretches of sands that Sahara Desert is covered with, there are also gravel plains and elevated plateaus with bare rocky surface. These rocky surfaces may be more than 25-meter high at some places. Do you know? You will be surprised to know that present day Sahara once used to be a lush green plain. Once, the Saharan desert, the area of the Sahara desert used to be full of greens. Cave paintings in Sahara desert show that there used to be rivers with crocodiles, elephants. Okay, in these in the Saharan desert, in the Sahara area, there used to be rivers with crocodiles, elephants, lions, giraffes, ostriches, sheep, cattle, and goats were common animals. So these were the common animals living in Saharan desert. But the change in climate has changed it to a very hot and dry region. And but the change in the climate has made the region very hot and dry. So this is the map of Africa, and you could see the Saharan desert, you know, which expands into 11 countries. You can see it highlighted in a yellow shade. Okay, let's see climate now. The climate of the Sahara Desert is scorching hot and parched dry. Scorching hot, too hot, and parched dry, and completely dry. It has a short rainy season. The rainy season is very short. The sky is cloudless and clear. The sky is cloudless because there is no rain, so sky has to be cloudless and clear. Here the moisture evaporates faster than it accumulates. The moisture evaporates as soon as it accumulates because of the heat. Days are unbelievably hot. Days are extremely hot, unbelievably hot, extremely hot. The temperatures during the day may soar as high as 50 degrees centigrade. During daytime, the temperature may go up to 50 degrees C, heating up the sand and bare rocks. It heats up the sand and the rocks, which in turn radiates heat, making everything around hot, which again radiates back the heat and thus makes the entire surrounding hot. The nights may be freezing cold with temperatures nearing 0 degrees, but it is opposite during night time. At night time, the temperatures dip to near about 0 degrees. Do you know Al Aziza in Sahara Desert, south of Tripoli, Libya, recorded the highest temperature of 57.7 degrees centigrade in 1992. Just keep a record of this. The highest temperature that was recorded in 1922, which was 57.7 degrees centigrade, where in Al Azizia in this Sahara Desert, which is south of Tripoli, which is in Libya. Flora and fauna. Flora and fauna means vegetation, trees, plantation. Vegetation in the Sahara Desert includes cactus, dates, date palms, and acacia. Okay, in some places there are oases. Oasis is a small island which is filled with water, and are places, places, small pockets wherein water remains filled, and it is covered. It is um, on the banks of this oasis you could see green trees, palms, dates, all this plantation. So in some places there are oases, green islands with large palms surrounding them. These are green islands with date palms surrounding them. Camels, hyenas, jackals, foxes, scorpions, many varieties of snakes and lizards are the prominent animal species living there. So these are the animal species that live around this oasis. This is an oasis in the Sahara Desert. You could see there might be a small pocket where the water might be filled, and the surrounding remains covered with this kind of plantation. Do you know scientists have actually found skeletons of fish in this desert? Scientists have found what? Skeletons of fish. What could have happened? What might have happened? Where did the water go? What happened to the fish? People. The Sahara Desert, its harsh climate, has been inhabited by various groups of people. Even though the climate is harsh, it has been inhabited. Inhabited means populated, human life, okay, by various group of people. People have always been living in this Saharan desert who pursue different activities, and they do different activities, they carry on different activities. Among them are the Bedouins and Tuaregs. These are the group of people living in the Saharan desert. These groups are nomadic tribes, nomadic people that keep on roaming, people who doesn't stay at one place. So these are groups are nomadic tribes rearing livestocks such as goats, sheep, and camels and horses. They rear goats, sheep, camels, and horses. These animals provide them with milk, skin, from which they make leather for belts, slippers, water bottles. Is used for mats, carpets, clothes, and blankets. The hair of these animals is used to make mats, carpets, clothes, and blankets. They wear heavy robes as protection against dust storms and hot winds. They have to wear heavy robes, heavy clothes. Robes means clothes, as these clothes protect them against dust storms, which are very frequent there, and the hot winds. The oasis in the Sahara and the Nile Valley in Egypt supports settled population. The oasis supports the population there. Since water is available, the people grow date palms. People grow date palms from the water that is available in the oasis. Crops such as rice, wheat, barley, and beans are also grown. These are some of the crops that are grown: rice, wheat, barley, and beans. Egyptian cotton, famous worldwide, is grown in Egypt. This is a very famous cotton, Egyptian cotton, and it is grown in Egypt. The discovery of oil, a product in great demand throughout the world. Everyone knows, even a kid might know that, how important the oil is. So the discovery of oil, a product in great demand throughout the world, in Algeria, Libya, and Egypt, is constantly transforming the Sahara Desert. How is it transforming? Transforming, changing. Other minerals of importance that are found in the area include iron, phosphorus, manganese, and uranium. These are some of the minerals that are found in this region. The cultural landscape of Sahara is undergoing change. It is undergoing change. It is changing every day. Gleaming glass cased office buildings tower over mosques, and superhighways crisscross the ancient camel paths. So there has been drastic change in the cultural landscape. You could see office buildings, superhighways, and less are seen these camel tracks, camel paths. Trucks are replacing camels in salt trade. Earlier, camels were used for salt trade. They used to trade salt, but now trucks are being used for salt trade. Tuaregs are seen acting as guides to foreign tourists. Tuaregs, the nomadic group, are now seen as acting as guides. These people act as guides for foreign tourists to foreign tourists. More and more nomadic herdsmen are, are taking to city life, finding jobs in oil and gas operations. So more and more nomadic people, they are sort of, leaving their hometown and are finding jobs in oil and gas operations in some larger plants manufacturing units. Do you know depressions are formed when the wind blows away the sand? When wind blows the sand away, so it causes a depression in the earth. The depressions where underground water reaches the surface and oasis is formed. So the depression is so massive, so big enough that the underground water reaches the surface and forms an oasis. These areas are fertile. Because of the oasis, these areas become fertile. People may settle around these water bodies. These water bodies or the oasis, people prefer to settle around these water bodies. Grow date palms and other crops. They also grow date palms and other crops. Sometimes the oasis may be abnormally large. Oases are generally small, but sometimes it might be too large. The Philalet oasis in Morocco is a large oasis with an area of about 13,000 square kilometer. Okay, just remember this, the name of this oasis, the Philalet oasis. Where is it? It is in Morocco, and the area it covers is around 13,000 square kilometer. Word origin. Ladakh is made up of two words, La meaning mountain pass. La means mountain pass and Dak meaning country. Ladakh. La and Dak. La means mountain pass and Dak means country. Do you know what? Dras. Dras, one of the coldest inhabited places on earth, is located in Ladakh. Dras is one of the coldest inhabited where humans live. Place on earth is located where? In Ladakh. The cold desert, Ladakh. Ladakh is a cold desert. Ladakh is a cold desert lying in the Great Himalayas. It is a cold desert, but it lies in Great Himalayas on the eastern side of Jammu and Kashmir. Where does it lie? Where does Ladakh lie? Ladakh lies on the eastern side. It is on the eastern side of Jammu and Kashmir. The Karakoram range in the north and the Janskar mountains in the south enclose it. So it is surrounded by Karakoram range in north and Janskar mountains in the south. Several rivers flow through Ladakh. There are several rivers that flow through Ladakh. Indus being the most important among them. One of the important rivers that flow through Ladakh is Indus. The rivers from deep valleys, the rivers form deep valleys and gorges. What do you mean by deep valleys? The valleys, the the force of the water or the flow of the water causes the valleys a huge trench in the valleys or a huge, what do you say, it forms, it erodes the soil and the valleys become too deep, and it also forms gorges. Several glaciers are found in Ladakh. You can find several glaciers in Ladakh. For example, the Gangri glacier. Where is this Gangri glacier? It is in Ladakh. The altitude in Ladakh varies from about 3,000 meter in Kargil to more than 8,000 meter in Karakoram. The altitude, sorry, the altitude in Ladakh varies from about 3,000 meter in Kargil. The altitude in Kargil is 3,000 meter, and 8,000 meter in Karakoram. This whole region falls under Ladakh region. Due to its high altitude, the climate is extremely cold and dry. Why is it cold and dry? Because of the high altitude. The air at this altitude is so thin that the heat of the sun can be felt intensely. So, what happens? The air is thin. So, the sun rays, when it falls on the earth, you could feel the intensity of the sun, of the heat of the sun. The day temperatures in summers are just above 0 degree. Even during summers, the temperature barely goes above 0 degrees, 0 degree, and the night temperatures well below 30, minus 30 degrees C, 30 degrees centigrade. And during the night, even during summers, the temperature goes below minus 30 degrees centigrade. It is freezing cold in the winters, where the temperatures may remain below minus 40 degree for most of the time. Even during in winters, the temperatures go below minus 40 degree centigrade. Here you could see the image. This is the Ladakh region, the Ladakh range. This is the Indus River. There are other rivers here. This is Leh, Kargil. Okay, as it lies in the rain shadow of the Himalayas, there is little rainfall, as low as 10 centimeter every year. So the temperature, the rainfall is as low as 10 centimeter every year, because it lies in the rain shadow of Himalayas. The area experiences freezing winds and burning hot sunlight. The area experiences freezing winds. The winds are freezing cold and burning hot sunlight, and the sunlight is burning hot. You will be surprised to know that if you sit in the sun with your feet in the shade, you may suffer from both sunstroke and frostbite at the same time. Such is the extreme temperatures. Even during daytime, if your feet is in the shade, you could suffer a frostbite. And if you sit in the sun, you might suffer from sunstroke. Ladakh is also known as Khapachan, which means snow land. Khapachan means snow land. Now let's talk about flora and fauna. Flora and fauna. Due to high aridity, the vegetation is sparse. Sparse, less. So due to high aridity is moisture. Due to high aridity means lack of moisture, not moisture but lack of moisture. High aridity is lack of moisture. Due to severe lack of moisture, the vegetation is sparse. Vegetation, plantation, plants, you could see less of plants there. There are scanty patches of grasses and shrubs. Scanty here and there. Okay, there are scanty patches of grasses and shrubs for animals to graze. Animals graze in these scanty patches of grasses and shrubs. Groves of willows and poplars are seen in the valleys. So groves of what? Willows and poplars, these are name of trees, are seen in the valleys. During the summers, fruit trees such as apples, apricots, and walnuts bloom. What happens during summers? Fruit trees such as apples, apricots, and walnuts bloom. They bloom. They are full of flowers, which later on bears bear fruits. Several species of birds are sighted in Ladakh. There are good number of bird species seen in Ladakh. Robins, red stars, Tibetan snowcock, raven, and hopoi are common. Some of these are migratory birds. Some of these birds, the birds that we named just now, some of these are migratory birds. The animals of Ladakh are wild goats, wild sheep, yak, and special kinds of dogs. The animals are reared to provide for the milk, meat, and hides. So they're reared, domesticated. Their animals are domesticated to provide milk, meat, and hides, skin. Yak's milk is used to make cheese and butter. Cheese and butter is made from yak's milk. The hair of the sheep and goat is used to make woolens. Woolens are made from sheep and goats' hair. Do you know the chiru or the Tibetan antelope is an endangered species? Chiru, which is a Tibetan antelope, is an endangered species. It is hunted for its wool known as sahtush. What is sahtush? Sahtush is wool that we get from the Tibetan antelope or the chiru, which are the Tibetan antelopes are chiru, are called chiru, which is light in weight and extremely warm. Shahtush is very light in weight and extremely warm. Do you know the finest cricket bats are made from wood of the willow trees? So these willow trees are used to make cricket bats. People, do you find any resemblance between the people of Ladakh and the inhabitants of Tibet and Central Asia? So, do you find any similarity between the people of Ladakh and the people of Tibet and Central Asia? The people here are either Muslims or Buddhists. People are either Muslims or Buddhists. In fact, several Buddhist monasteries dot the Ladakhi landscape with their traditional gompas. Some famous monasteries are Hemis, Thikse, She, and Lamayuru. Just remember the names of these monasteries. In summer season, the people are busy cultivating barley, potatoes, peas, beans, and turnip. These are the cultivation grown in summer season. The climate in winter months is so harsh that people keep themselves engaged in festivities and ceremonies. The winter weather is so harsh that people prefer to keep themselves busy with festivities and ceremonies. They celebrate a lot during winter season. The women are very hardworking. Who work hard? The women. They work not only in the house but and fields, but also manage small business and shops. They not only work in house and fields, but they also manage businesses and shops. Leh, the capital of Ladakh, is well connected. What is the capital of Ladakh? Leh. Leh is the capital of Ladakh, which is well connected both by road and air. The National Highway 1A, which is the National Highway number 1A, connects Leh to Kashmir Valley through the Zogzi La Pass. The National Highway 1A connects Leh to Kashmir. Leh and Kashmir are connected Kashmir Valley are connected through Zozila Pass. Okay. Can you name some more passes in the Himalayas? Do you remember some of the passes? Can you recall some of the passes in the Himalayas? This is the picture of Thikse Monastery. Do you know Manali? Do you know Manali Leh Highway crosses four passes: Rohtang La, Baralacha La, Lungalacha La, and Tanglang La. The highway opens only between July and September. The highway opens between July and September when snow is cleared from the road. When the road is cleared of snow. Tourism is a major activity with several tourists streaming in from within India and abroad. Tourists come in large numbers in Ladakh. They might be from India or from abroad. Visits to the Gompas, treks to see treks to see the meadows and glaciers, witnessing ceremonies and festivities are important activities. These are some of the important activities performed by the tourists. Life of people is undergoing change due to modernization. The modernization is bringing a lot of change in the lives of the people. But the people of Ladakh have over the centuries learned to live in balance and harmony with nature. They know how to live in balance and harmony with nature. They love nature, they live in peace with the nature. They do not try to disturb the nature. Due to scarcity of resources like due to scarcity shortage of resources like water and fuel, they are used with reverence and care. Reverence when needed and care. Nothing is discarded or wasted. They don't discard anything or they don't waste anything. So that's it. I hope you find this chapter interesting. Try to read along with me a couple of times to know how the words are pronounced and for a good understanding of the vocabulary as well. So thank you for watching. Keep tuned to this channel, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and you are free to comment on the channel. It will be much appreciated. Thank you so much.